You watched part 1. You saw how Anthropic silently cut limits for 2,140 paying customers, while their status page said everything was fine. That was March 23rd. 3 days later, it happened again, worse. March 26, 2026. Reddit, GitHub, and now Forbes, MacRumors, and the Register are all running the same story. Claude's premium subscribers, the ones paying $100 or $200 a month, are watching their usage limits disappear in minutes. Not hours. Minutes. One user on the $100 Max 5X plan posted on Reddit, "I bought this plan 20 minutes ago. One prompt. It used 37% of my 5-hour limit. I was doing CRUD operations. Nothing complex. By the time I switched to Sonnet, I was at 70%. Gone in 1 hour." On the $200 Max 20X plan, a subscriber watched their usage jump from 21% to 100% on a single prompt. Not a complex one, just one prompt. That is $200 a month for roughly 15 minutes of work. It gets stranger. User Fearless Elephant 81 on Reddit. "I wasn't even using it, and it filled up." Another one. Asked one question. Bang. 95% usage gone. Grumpy Corn Games tried to convert a single recipe to bulk serving. 4 messages. Maxed out. GitHub issue number 38335. Max 5X users reporting their rate was spent after 90 minutes of what they describe as normal agentic tasks. The thread title? Instantly hitting usage limits with max subscription. 500 upvotes in 24 hours. Forbes ran the story. MacRumors ran the story. The Register ran the story. PunicaWeb, all in the same 24 hours. The headline from PunicaWeb says it cleanly. Claude Max subscribers left frustrated after usage limits drained rapidly. 2. Then, after days of silence, an Anthropic engineer named Tariq Shihipar posted on X. And this is where it gets really interesting. Because it is not a bug, it is intentional. His words. "To manage growing demand for Claude, we are adjusting our 5-hour session limits during peak hours." Peak hours. Weekdays. 5 a.m. to 11 a.m. Pacific time, which is exactly when developers in the US and Europe are working. The company is throttling the service during the hours their customers need it most, without telling anyone, and calling it a feature. The official spin: only 7% of users are affected. But our Claude Code, GitHub, Forbes, and 3 other publications covering it simultaneously tell a different story. One Reddit user, in their very first post ever, wrote, "I can say with absolute certainty the limits were silently reduced. We are being treated like clowns." There is also a deeply ironic detail here. Anthropic's own engineers have publicly said they no longer write code manually. They use Claude Code to build Claude. So the tool that cannot handle peak demand is the same tool they use to fix the tool that cannot handle peak demand. Forbes puts it well. It seems likely that machines create bugs too. Claude Code may have introduced the very glitch that is burning users' limits. A $2 billion product, potentially broken by itself. So what are developers actually doing? Because Claude Code is genuinely the best coding AI right now, but the limits make it unusable for real work. Here is what the community has landed on as alternatives. First option, OpenAI Codex. It is fast, solid on most tasks, and GPT-4o does not hit walls the same way. The downside? It is weaker on complex multi-file refactors. Claude Code wins on reasoning. But for speed and reliability, Codex is still the most popular fallback. Second option, OpenRouter. This is the smart move. OpenRouter lets you route your prompts to whatever model is cheapest or fastest at any moment. Claude, GPT-4o, Gemini, DeepSeek, all through one API. When Claude hits a wall, you switch models automatically. No downtime. Third option, Gemini 2.5. It has a massive context window. It handles large code bases well, and Google is aggressively pricing it to steal Anthropic's enterprise market. It is not Claude Code, but it does not run out in 15 minutes either. Fourth option, DeepSeek V3. Free. Open source. Surprisingly strong on code. Runs on OpenRouter. Several developers in our Claude Code have switched partially to DeepSeek for grunt work, saving their Claude limits for the tasks that actually need it. The honest take? Claude Code is still the king. For complex reasoning, multi-file understanding, and architectural decisions, nothing touches it right now. But a king you cannot access is useless. and Anthropic keeps making it harder to access. The pattern is clear. March 2nd, outage. March 13th, fake double usage promo with off-peak hours when developers sleep. March 14th, another outage. March 16 through 19, 4 consecutive days of incidents. March 23rd, Part 1. March 26th, this. Every single week. Reddit user Plum said it best. The $200 Claude Max plan is cooked, and when a paying customer who just spent $200 describes your flagship product that way, you have a trust problem. Not a capacity problem. A trust problem. If you are still paying for Claude Pro or Max, check your usage dashboard right now. These limits change without warning, without email, without any notification. You deserve to know what you are actually buying. We cover these stories because someone has to. AI companies are charging real money for services with hidden rules and invisible limits. If you want to know when it happens again, subscribe. It is free. And right now, that makes it better value than Claude Max.